Hi, I'm Samantha Esposito, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a lasagna today. Your ingredients that you're going to need to use are lasagna noodles, but we're going to make a small one today. So you're going to use half of the box. You're going to need a pan, and like I said, we're making a smaller one than a normal size. So you're going to need a small throwaway pan if you want to throw the pan away after you're done. You're going to need mozzarella cheese. Whenever you're done, you're going to put it on top of the lasagna, and that'll be like your topping whenever you're done. You're going to need 1 egg. You're gonna need cottage cheese for in the middle of the layers, and then you're gonna need Parmesan cheese for in the middle of them. You're gonna need 2 or 3 cans of pasta sauce, and then you're gonna use them at each layer of your lasagna. So, did you pause? So what you're going to do is put half of the noodles in here since we're only making a small one. And you're going to have them boil until they're soft and not chewy. And then you're going to have them boil. So whenever your noodles are boiling, you're going to want to put some salt in there, just to give it some more flavor. Okay.
2, 1.
And now since they are boiling with salt, you're going to want to stir them and then let them sit for 15 to 20 minutes until they're cooked fully and they're not hard and they're not chewy. And then you're going to want to have them at a good temperature. And after that, you're going to want to strain them in a strainer, and then you're going to want to put 1/4 cups of oil in it, and then it'll be good. While the noodles are boiling, you're going to want to put a little chopped up onion in your meat, and you're going to want to let your meat brown. And then you're going to want to let it brown until it's fully cooked, and then after that, the onions and the meat will be cooked. So while your noodles and your meat are browning, you're going to want to put cottage cheese in here. Oh my god. And then you're going to want to put your egg. And then you're going to want to beat it together whenever you're done, like I'll show in the next. Alright, so now since your meat is browning, you're going to want to stir it where then the bottom doesn't get all burnt and stuff. And then you want to make sure that it's going to be on low since we already browned it a little more before we started this. And then you're going to want to go to your noodles and stir them and make sure that they're not too hard and they're not like really chewy. Now we're going to mix this together for our mixture of it, and you're going to want to mix the eggs and the cottage cheese together, and then whenever you're done with that, you're going to want to put Parmesan cheese on it. Okay, so, and you always want to have this down at all times, or then it doesn't splatter all over. Alright, so you're not going to want to keep it all in one spot. You're going to want to do it in circular motion. And you're going to want to do it until all the lumps are out of the cottage cheese and the egg is grinded up in it. So the utensils that you're going to need to do the rest of this is a spoon just to stir it with the cheese in it, since we already used the blender to blend the cottage cheese and the eggs together. So now you're going to want to put some cheese in here. And it will be 1/4 of a cup. And then you're going to want to mix it together, like so. Now it's been about 15 minutes. The meat is almost done browning. There's still little pieces of it that need better. Now the noodles are done after 15 minutes, so you're going to want to turn off the oven and let them stop boiling and before you get your pan and strain them.
1.
Alright, so you to be safe, you want to use a pot with handles on it. And what you want to do is carry it to the sink, and then your strainer should be already in the sink, and what you want to do is pour the noodles in the strainer where then all the water gets out, and then you just have the noodles. And then after that, the next ingredient that you're gonna want to use is oil, and you're gonna want to use a capful of it. So you're gonna want to use it in the pan.
With the noodles in
Pause it. Okay, so now you're gonna want to put the oil in here. I put it in the wrong pan last time, and you're want to use a cupful of it, and then put it in the noodles where then they don't stick to the pan, or they do not stick to the pan whenever you cook them. And then you're gonna want to put it in the strainer and let it strain all the water out, and let your noodles not have water in them. So now you're gonna want to rinse your noodles out, and you're gonna want to run water in them, where then it gets like any dirt or anything out, or like stuff that you don't want in there. And then after that, you're gonna be ready to put them in the pan. Alright, so now your meat is done browning, and you wanna stir it where then like it's all mixed up again, and your onions are cooked, as you can see. And then you want to make sure that none of it got burnt, which this didn't, so it should look like that.
1.
Okay, so now you're going to want to open your cans of your pasta sauce, where then you can put them in the meat, and then you're going to want to put them on the lasagna too. So okay, so while it's spinning, you're going to want to watch it and then get the tab off whenever you're done. And you're going to want to do this for both cans. And then you're going to want to throw this away and watch your fingers when you don't cut yourself.
1.
You're going to want to put 3/4 or the whole can of pasta sauce in your meat, and then you're going to want to stir it together. Ooh, I hate that noise. So you're going to want to stir it together. And then it should look like this.
1.
Alright, so now since you're done stirring it, you're going to want to put a little garlic salt in there. Very little. And then you're going to want to mix that together. And then you're going to want to put Italian seasoning in there. And then some pepper. And then you're going to want to stir that together where then you don't get too much in one thing. Okay, so now you're going to want to bring your noodles over here. And then you're going to want to get your meat with all your ingredients in it. And then you're going to want to get ready to prepare your lasagna in your pan. So now you're going to want to get ready to prepare your lasagna. At first you're going to want to put your meat sauce in here, where then it does not stick to the bottom of the pan. And you're going to want to spread it all around and put enough in there where it'll be able to cover the bottom of it, where then the noodles don't stick or the rest of the ingredients don't stick. And you're going to want to spread it around and fill up any gaps. And then you're going to want to take your noodles and you're going to want to layer them, but you got to make sure you wash your hands.
1.
So now that you covered up all the gaps in your lasagna, you're going to want to take your noodles and make sure that your hands are washed. And then you're going to want to first unstick them. And then, well, these are a little too big, so you're going to have to measure them. Well, make sure that they're the right size. And then while I'm, the next video, I'll show the right length for them. Alright, now since they're measured correctly, you're going to want to put them in a layer like this. And then next, the next measuring cup, you're going to need to use a measuring cup. And you're going to want to get your mixture of cheese, egg, and cottage cheese. And you're going to want to put it on here, but very little. And then you're going to want to take your sauce, and then you're going to want to spread it around like this. And then very little. Okay, so now you got your second layer done, and then you want to spread your sauce and then your mixture of that together of egg and cheese and cottage cheese. And then we just got done, so we're going to keep repeating the layers until it fills up to the top, which will be about one more layer on this. And then you're going to want to put mozzarella cheese on the top, and then you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and then put it in, and then we'll be back. Alright, now you're going to want to use your mozzarella cheese. If I could get this open. And you're going to want to use only a handful of it and sprinkle it on top. And then you're going to want to, you're going to want to fill up the gaps that you have of it. And then you're going to want to use your Parmesan cheese and sprinkle a little of it over your mozzarella cheese. Alright. So now you're going to want to put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. And you're going to want to put it to the back, well, the front, without getting burnt. And then you're going to want to let it sit in there for 20 minutes until it's ready to be done.
1, go.
Now it's been 20 minutes, so you're going to want to check your lasagna to make sure the cheese is melted like this. So we're going to take it out, and you're going to want to use safety precautions, so you're going to want to use the mitts. And you're going to want to put it on a surface, but put the mitt down, and then put it on. Shut the oven, and then you'll be good. Ready? And this is how you make a lasagna. You have to let it cook for 20 minutes on 350 degrees, and then it'll be ready to eat.